Hey guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to my morning walk with Alfie. It is a beautiful day today, the first really nice day within the past 2 weeks. We only had like rain and grey skies and everything, but today the sun is out, it's really wonderful. And I decided to drive out of Düsseldorf. So this is like a castle 20 minutes outside of Düsseldorf. It's called Schloss Dyck or Castle Dyck basically. And it's already, we're going from Düsseldorf towards the Dutch border. And it's really flat landscape here, but really beautiful. I really enjoy this site a lot. I'm going to show you the castle in a second, just from the outside, because I think it's really nice. It's like a water castle. And then it has a really nice garden area attached to it, where I'm standing at right now, actually. So there's like multiple little garden areas showing different styles of garden. And I'm kind of hoping to get some inspiration and maybe find some nice winter structure. Since the winter here was so mild, maybe I even get to see some nice winter plants or anything. You might see I'm moving because Alfie is on her leash and she's full of energy, so I really need to take her for a walk now. But yeah, I just want to show you around, walk you around a little bit, and I hope today's video is going to be interesting for you as well. So this is how it looks when you walk in, and the back you can see the castle, and then if I just swing around here on the left, you can see a lot of like hedges, and this is where all the gardens are. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is that I will just walk basically straight down here and just show you a little bit how the castle is looking like, and then really just like walk with Alfie there just to get some energy out of her. And then by the end of the tour, I'm going to explore the gardens here. I haven't even made it to the castle yet because the first thing that caught my eye in my back here, you can tell hardly, absolutely wonderful. These traditional style of greenhouses from the UK with the brickwork at the base, the metal framing, and then like the decorating on top of the gable. I think they're so wonderful, and it's embedded in a really nice big size kitchen garden. So I just want to get in there and see what I can find and discover. Really excited about that area. These greenhouses are so wonderful, like with the cold frames and the brickwork, and such a lovely sight always. I wonder what they're doing inside, because they have a lot of wooden boards in there, which is not looking so nice, obviously, but all right, that is what it is. There's no single plant in there, but if I swing around, you get to see the kitchen garden. It looks really nice and well organized here. And in the back, they have a lot of really beautiful, tall kale plants. So try to walk there with Alfie now, let's see. And then these huge canes that they put there, I believe probably for some sort of like beans or something, I guess. But also with the castle in the back, what a wonderful sight is that. And you can tell that we had no frost really or anything here, because the kale is still standing here. Because normally around this time of the year in January, you would definitely get in here and harvest it. But it's such a beauty, really ornamental, wonderful kind of plant. Such a pretty kitchen garden, and they have a lot of crops still here going on. They got some leeks in there, some different kind of salad crops are in here, organized in colors, which I really like how they've done it. Like a mix of red one and green ones in here. Kind of pretty, and then a little hatching of lavender down here in between as a separation. Obviously, I can't grow lavender in Poland because it's so moist in winter that the lavender really hates it. But yeah, I think it's just a cute inspiration on like maybe growing some of these kale varieties, because for the ornamental value. That is how the castle looks like. I think it's really pretty. Just the colors, really intriguing and special. And if I swing around, you get to see that the entire area is actually quite huge. So there's a couple of more buildings here. There also used to be a cafe, which is really nice, but after COVID, things just changed really. I might need to see if the cafe is still there. So they have like these small garden corners and nooks here and there and everywhere, which is quite cute. Obviously not a lot going on at this time of the year, but if I swing around, you get to see that attached to the castle, there is quite a huge park area with a lot of trees actually. And here is kind of like an ornamental garden where they grow a lot of perennials throughout the year, which is really interesting. When I was here in July, it was filled with color, absolutely beautiful. But let's see, maybe I get to see and enjoy some color up here now as well. Obviously, I love these here, euphorbia. I grow the exact same variety in my own garden, but to be fair, they like it here a lot better in the climate, I would say. They're so lush and vigorous, probably also older. I just put it on there. But just the combination of those like green foliage, the silver green foliage of the euphorbia with the grasses, I think it's absolutely wonderful. And you can tell Alfie's exploring already. I just let her off the leash for a second because nobody is here. So she could just like dawdle around if she wanted to. But I think this is super nice, and I want to propagate the euphorbia in my own garden. and just seeing the impact that they have as a big patch like this, so wonderful as a winter structure, especially when you see that everything here is already cut back. Most of the perennials are cut back, obviously they're peonies, and what they built, I think this is really wonderful. They built these like metal circles basically for a support system of the peonies, and I feel that this is a really nice way on how to do it because they blend into the landscape quite nicely. Also in the back they have more there, because normally those, if you buy them in the stores, they come in like green colors, which I don't really appreciate that much, but I feel here they're actually a really nice support system. Oh my, I think this is really the perfect day to show you around. Just look at the water like a mirror with a reflection of the castle. I can't recall that I've ever seen it like that, to be fair. It's wonderful, like how this really dark water reflects the sky and everything. This is so special here. And then you see this is where we just came from, where I showed you the euphorbia. And there's a little bridge here with this old gate basically. I think it says 1770. So this is, I suppose, when they build it. I don't really know when they build the castle. Maybe it dates back from the same time. But what I want to do now, if I swing to my left, there you see this is kind of like where the park garden is and opens up. A lot of trees and like open meadows. And this is where I just want to walk with you now and just see what I find and discover back in here. The only disadvantage of a beautiful day like today is that it's really difficult to find a good location for filming because the sun is always doing flares on the screen, but I think it's good now. And I really want to show you this here. This is where is a branch? This is a hamamelis. It's a witch hazel, and I think that they are such intriguing specimens. They flower in the midst of winter. So we are in January now, and the entire shrub is filled with flowers and blooms. Wonderful color. It's like a tangerine and goes red into the center, which I think is really intriguing. And seeing this really gives me confidence because I thought about introducing 2 of those to my own garden, like red flowering ones. And there is a nursery on my way back to Düsseldorf, so I think I might make a stop and just see what they have there. And the most intriguing part is this one here comes a little bit with a scent which I wasn't seeing. So that is also interesting. And I just give you a close-up because the color of this one here is absolutely beautiful, like a tangerine, and then it goes red to the center. Really intriguing flowers if you look at them, like little spiky, almost like little insects clinging to the stems. Wonderful specimen, and definitely a wonderful treasure for a garden in winter. I've made my round through the landscape garden, and now I am down here at this area where they have all different kind of small garden sections. And you can tell my back already, maybe I'm standing in a Japanese garden right now. So this is really one of those fun, quirky areas that they have here. A lot of bamboo, pines, they have the gravel that they rake over, really wonderful. Obviously something that I will never do in Poland because I think this would be so weird to put a Japanese garden into the Baltic landscape. But I just love to look at areas like this here. Really wonderful. And what I hope is maybe to find some beautiful inspiration in winter structure, ideas that I can incorporate in my own garden as well. This is the Japanese garden, and I just love how serene and tranquil it is, even throughout summer. It's not a lot of color going on really here. Everything is kind of just like green and shades of dark red and crimson eventually. If I just swing around a little bit, you get to see that it's quite big area. There in the back, they have got some really tall, huge bamboo where I'm going to walk with you now. And then they have these like lantern shapes here and all these different pines. And I'm not sure if this is a fact, but I once read that these Japanese gardens are actually trying to reflect the Japanese landscape. So the gravel that you see here that is raked over in these like wave shapes is supposed to symbolize the ocean, and these big rocks that you see in there are supposed to symbolize the islands of Japan. I hope that this is right. I'm not telling you any stupid stuff now, but this is what I once read, if I remember it right. But this is so cool now. This is like a bamboo forest, so you can really walk in here. And especially in summer, it cools you down immediately. And you have this complete play with light and shade and textures and structures. And then in the middle, there is this huge wooden arch in here as well. Really wonderful. I think this is just such a fun site to explore, especially the Japanese garden area here, because it's so versatile. You have this typical Japanese garden that you have in mind, And then you suddenly have this bamboo walk here, and when you walk out again, you're back in a quite traditional Japanese garden area again. Absolutely wonderful. Normally this area is filled with water, so there is a pond in here. And if you walk over these stones, you almost walk at the water line, but obviously we're in winter, they just remove the water. But still, I think it looks absolutely wonderful. How about that for a centerpiece of your outdoor dinner table? You don't need to put a vase or pots or anything on your table anymore, because here it is already inside the table. What a cool idea is that? I love it. All the opportunities and things that you can put in here and change it seasonally and everything. They clearly went with all different kind of sedums in here. Beautiful for winter structure. But this is something where I feel like, wow, you could just mix it up all year round, make it really seasonal. A wonderful idea. And what I love even more is that they don't stain the wood or anything. They just leave it as it is. It's clearly there's lichen and moss and everything on there. And if you want to eat, probably you might want to give it a quick clean. But I just like that they don't try to protect it forever. It's like it is wood and it is going to rot down in a way, but still I think it looks so lovely and charming. And he really wanted to show you that. And Alfie already wants to go to the next area apparently, which is quite good because this is something else that I want to show you. So there she is. Alfie, hello. Hello girl, how are you? Her new harness, look at it. Because of COVID, it's so difficult to find anything nice. Because whatever pet shop I go, they say like, well, it's sold out because of COVID. So now her new harness is blue and everybody thinks she is a boy. And probably also because of the name, Alfie, everybody thinks she's a boy, but well. So this is another kitchen garden area that they have here. And they build these raised beds. And I saw them already a second ago. And I was like, they are stunning. I obviously love anything that is made in a basket weave technique. And I think this is just next level of beauty. And what they're growing in here is something that I actually want to grow for next year as well. So here is some celery growing. The single kinds are a little flimsy maybe. So I'm not quite sure why that is, but I think definitely still edible. And all the greenery and everything is great. I use it for making pastos or in a soup, for example. So yeah, I really wanted to show you this area as well here. And then at the back with this little corner where they have a table and some chairs. And I think it was wisteria probably growing here. Oh no, I think it's wine. Yeah, definitely it is a very old wine. I can tell by the structure of the wood here. Just wonderful, isn't it? And then in the back there, you can see the Hartley again. Oh, I just thought a second ago, if I ever have a greenhouse, I'm dying to have one like this. I am in one of the other garden rooms that they created here, and I really love and enjoy this one here in particular. This has a prairie feel to it, so a lot of grasses and perennials mixed together. And I think what they made really beautiful in this area here in particular is that you have the gravel walk, so you are walking on a thin layer of gravel, and all the beds are like raised beds, and they are made out of concrete, so they have these like swooped shapes curving all the way around. And what you can tell really wonderful in here, I think, is again how important winter structure is, and that euphorbia is an amazing plant if you have an evergreen variety for your garden, because the combination of these like brown bronzed off grasses together with the really wonderful green leaves of the euphorbia and the red stems on top of it, I think it's just a wonderful combination. And if we keep on walking here, I can just show you. You just find your way to the back, and there you see as a backdrop there is a little wall, a brick wall, and then you have seating areas, different seating areas in here. So the seats, they are made out of a steel, and if we just continue on walking, I just love this one here. You have two seats next to each other, and then the euphorbia, oh, there I am, the euphorbia growing in between the two chairs. And what you can do now, especially on a lovely sunny day like this, just sit here, relax, enjoy the sun. And because the beds are raised beds, what happens is all the plants that are normally 50 to 60 centimeters lower on the ground, they are sitting really next to you on an eye level, and you really get to enjoy them. I think this is just a really wonderful and brilliant idea, and maybe something that I might consider for my own garden as well at one point. They have these art objects here scattered throughout the entire property or park area. And normally when it comes to art in the garden, I'm a little bit, I don't want to say on the fence with that, but I think it's quite fine line of like, Is it art or is it just tacky decoration sometimes? And this is also why I don't really have a lot in my own garden. Sometimes in other gardens I really like it more than in my own garden, to be fair. But these, there's something quite intriguing about them because I think they just don't try to become part of nature. They're not really symbolizing anything really. It's not that they're like a decorative ornamental piece by any sort. They kind of remind me eerie of like UFOs that have crash landed here, maybe because of the shape and the color. But there's something quite intriguing about them, and they are here permanently. And every single time I see them, I find them quite intriguing and interesting, and also because of the surface and the structure and everything, how they reflect and catch the light. Yeah, I think that for some weird reason, when it comes to art in the garden, this is something that works fairly well for me. You guys, that is it for today's video. I hope you have fun with that. My morning walk happened to be more than 2 hours in the end now, but I really enjoyed it. It's a beautiful day outside, and the last thing that I'm going to do now is I will go in here, which is a gift shop of the castle, and they really have lovely things, but it's quite full now and also in the gift shop, so I don't think that I will do a video in there. And I also need to wear a face mask because this is still mandatory here in Germany and in Poland. And yeah, so I just quickly browse and see if I find something. Maybe at the end of the video I'll quickly just show you if I found something and what I found. So let's see. I hope you have fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm really happy that I discovered like a wonderful hazel witch here, and it gave me the confidence that I really want to introduce him to my own garden as well. So at one point I will go to a nursery and see what they have, because I know in Germany I have just a bigger range of things compared to what I have in the nursery in Poland. So eventually I might buy one here. Maybe I take it with me then in one of my future videos. This is going to be a very short one then, obviously. But so it is. Hope you enjoyed it. I had fun with you, and I would love to see you in my future video again. Up until then, guys, bye.